Hi everyone, welcome to week 8 of the Register Guard Prep Football Press Box. I'm Ben Schorzman, Prep Sports Reporter here at the RG, and like I said, it's week 8, which means there's a lot of big games, a lot of things going on, and anyone who is wondering who might win the Midwestern League or the Southwest Conference, they will most likely know their answer Friday night. Some huge matchups and all happening here in the local area. So let's dive right in quickly into the game of the week, the game I will be at, and that is number 4 ranked Crater at number 1 Springfield. Both teams 7-0 coming into this game. This is a de facto Midwestern League championship matchup with one game left after that, and it really can't get much more important for either one of these teams. It's going to be a battle of the quarterbacks. With Matt Stuck from the Comets leading a really potent attack that's averaging 45 points a game, which is exactly the same amount of points per game that Springfield's averaging, led by Trevor Watson, last year's Midwestern League Offensive Player of the Year. Watson and Stuck should put on a show. Both guys have just put up great numbers. Watson has done it all this year. He's on pace to rush for more than 2,000 yards. I was at their game last week against Ashland, and he had 249 yards rushing and 2 more touchdowns. He's on pace to account for more than 40. And oh, by the way, he's passed for nearly 1,500 yards as well. So just an amazing athlete, and he's going up against someone in Stuck who's a little bit of a different look than Watson. He's 6'3", so a little bit taller, and he's getting looks from Oregon State, Utah State. Their coach, John Beck, told me today, as well as every Big Sky school out there. So should be a fun matchup highlighted by those two guys. But, I mean, like I said, they're identical on the other side of the ball as well. Both teams averaging about 22 points per game given up. So, yeah, get out to Silky Field if you can Friday night, because that is definitely the marquee matchup here in town. Looking around to, like I said, you might know the winner of the Southwest Conference after this week. That one's a little bit more murky, but it should be, you get some clarity with Sheldon traveling to Willamette. The Irish are still undefeated. However, because they have played one less game than everyone else because of that unfortunate game cancellation versus Roseburg a few weeks back. The Irish need to win out, and if a team finishes with one loss behind them, which Grants Pass can do because they're already done playing the Irish, they would only win the conference by a half game. So they can't clinch a share this week like a lot of teams in this situation usually can. So the Irish do need to win out. However, they can eliminate Willamette from that title chase, which is kind of crazy. At the beginning of the year, they were just talking about changing the culture over there at Willamette, but now Josh Wolfram has them at 4-1 in the conference after another win last week at North Medford, and which clinched them a playoff spot for the first time in a long time. But if they can somehow shock the world and upset Sheldon, that puts them on the inside track, actually, and that would clinch them a share of the league title. So, actually, hold on a second. No, it wouldn't. It would set up essentially a league championship game next week against Grants Pass, who they're tied with for second right now. So a lot of things on the line this week at that game. Speaking of that Grants Pass team, they first to set up a potential to keep their chances of even being in the mix there, they have to beat South Eugene in Eugene this week. Shouldn't be too tough for them. South has kind of dropped off lately. And Roseburg is at Thurston, which is still searching for its first win of the season. So moving down the line here, there's another big game in the Eugene area. This one between Redmond, which is number 5 in Class 5A at 5-2, against undefeated North Eugene. This probably more than any other game this season will let us kind of know where the Highlanders are at with a Midwestern League reintroduction looming next year. So this might tell us how ready they are, because they've been playing quite a few teams below them. So we will really see if they are capable of beating a strong 5A team, and we could project out maybe to next year. So big game for the Highlanders. Also, Eagle Point at Churchill. Churchill needs to keep it's running alive by winning this week against the Eagles. They're right now tied at 1-2 for the final spot in the Midwestern League playoff hunt. The top 3 teams go. So they need to win out and hope Ashland stumbles here against Marist this week, which it hosts, or against Eagle Point next week. So Churchill outside hopes alive as well in the playoff hunt. So like I said, a lot of things afoot this week, and we'll get some clarity though, specifically in the Midwestern League. So tune back Friday night. You can follow me on Twitter at BenSchoz_RG and follow all our stuff online on our sports page. So thanks again, and talk to you next week.